Today you're coming on one of our client shoots and we are going to be creating this. And at this point, while I'm filming, I don't even know what it's gonna look like yet. So you're gonna see all the in-betweens of how we execute whatever the photo look like. We've got our light set up. We're using a glass bench. We're shooting these funky undies. These are from one of our retainer clients. We've ordered these big cubes of ice and we've got some dry ice. So it's gonna be a very icy, dark, sandy kind of scene. This is Kim, everyone. Kim works here at FJC. She's a jack of all trades, really. She does styling, photography, she gets in the ice sculpting, she gets in the TikTok. She's literally a one-woman wonder, we like to call her. We ordered these ice cubes from a local ice shop. We pre-ordered these last week. We had to give them the dimensions of like how big we wanted them as well. So we actually just used one of our Propsyland blocks as a reference. The idea is to have the one cube there, or rectangle there, and another two stacked, and then we're gonna stick the undies on them somehow. Now you'll see with the lighting soon that we are purposely trying to illuminate the ice as well, and the whole purpose is to make them look blue, kind of like this ocean. So we're pulling a lot of the inspo from the actual undie design, which is super cool. So we're gonna have the ice blocks, we'll have the sand, and then we have the blue gels making it look like an ocean. So I'm super excited. One of the first obstacles that we're trying to figure out is how are we going to keep the ice in its position once it's on this glass, because it is gonna slip and slide around and that could be very dangerous. We could break something. So we're trying to figure out what are we gonna mount it with, or what are we gonna stabilize it with. So Kimbo, the Eskimo, has just come up with a great idea. We're gonna leave it on its plastic, but we're just gonna get some scissors and we're gonna cut it, because she made a very good point that it's not really moving around too much once it's on the plastic. So we'll see if that works. All right, so we've got our final setup. We've got black sand that's coming in around the front of the frame, and we've left this part free because underneath we have a light with a gel on it, and that's shining up through and it's illuminating the ice, the product, the rocks. We've got our cubes there with the product on it. We've just stabilized it with some other like crystals, because it actually kind of goes with the theme of the product anyways. And now we're gonna have our first round with dry ice just to see what it looks like. All right, so Kimbo is doing the dry ice at the back, and I'm just starting to take some shots while it's coming through. Yeah, this is looking really cool. So the first round of dry ice usually is always a test. You might get a really good shot from it. However, there was some stuff that I needed to move around, and by the time we finished it, the dry ice was kind of already dying out. So we're just gonna reboil the kettle and then do another round. And if you've seen our other videos using dry ice, you'll know how tedious it can be. I'm just going in with a paintbrush just to sculpt out the edge of the sand a little bit better and get rid of some of the sand that's sitting kind of here in the middle. Obviously we can get rid of it in Photoshop, but it'd be a lot easier if I just cleaned it up now. So I'm just using a paintbrush because I find that works the best, especially when working with sand. Okay, so we're gonna reset the dry ice. I like to have a jug on standby just to pour the cold water into, and then we'll freshen it up with boiling hot water because that'll work the best. So we're just hiding some jugs and bowls. I've got just a random cocktail glass hiding behind this block, and I find it works really well because it's clear, so you can't really see inside the ice. Got lots of dry ice this time. So because this brand is a retainer, they've got multiple sizes in their range. So we've just got to swap the products out and get a shot of each of them. So we've just popped in the kids one for now, and we'll probably need to remove the kettle from the scene. All right, let's go back through, top it all up. So I'm just getting a few extra shots of some different angles. Given how cool this scene is, I like to have a variety of different compositions to choose from. But let's talk lighting now that we've got the shot. So we have a few lights going on here. This very first one is lighting up my product. So I've got a snoot on it and it's pointing directly at my product. We're doing a dark style of scene, so we don't want to spill too much light around the scene. So yeah, using a snoot for that reason, pointing directly at the product, that is what's lighting the product. So on the left-hand side, I have another strobe with a reflector dish, and it's behind some diffuser paper. This is just filling in some of that darkness. It's on a really low power, so it's not doing a great deal. Then we come around the back, we have another strobe with another snoot. This is pointing directly through the ice, and that's just illuminating the back of the scene. It's basically a backlight, and it's got a snoot because, again, we don't want to have too much light spread. Down below here, we have a strobe underneath the glass. It has a reflector dish with a blue gel just sitting on top of it. This is illuminating the scene from underneath. It looks super pretty with the ice as well. And then we have pretty much the same thing happening here with this strobe. It has the same colored gel on it, but it's pointing at the background. So that is illuminating the background. That one is illuminating the whole scene from the bottom. If you've been watching the Modify modules or any of the other modules, you should know what these modifiers are doing. But just to remind you, it is to control the light. And then lucky last, we have a strobe here on the right-hand side with another snoot, and this is just pointing directly at the sand just to light the sand up because it was super dark. We're learning lots about this ice cube. It just sticks to the ice. We didn't need anything to spot it. We did have a crystal there at one point, but it's just staying there because it's getting stuck. And now we have to figure out what we're gonna do with it because we're finished. Happen to have one. Why is the ice furry?
I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm just going in with a paintbrush. I'm just going in with a paintbrush, and we'll probably need to remove the kettle from the scene.